Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Samar from the Niqabi Diaries, and I'm reading this book, The Ideal Muslimah, linked to the PDF version in the description box, inshallah. And we're still on chapter 10, The Muslim Woman in Her Community and Society. And this section is entitled, She Gives Sincere Advice. And this section, actually, while I was reading it, I was just reminded personally of the fact that obviously, apart from the sincere advice being something as part of our religion, because the religion itself is sincerity, we have to be sincere as Muslims, sincere in our belief of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His oneness and the Tawheed, and sincere in the aspect of loving up for others what we love for ourselves. And that means that we should love others to be guided as we would love ourselves to be guided. So in relation to that, then we have to, when giving advice to others, give it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. So sometimes we find that people may be given advice because of the wrong reasons. It could be because they feel jealous of people, so it's not really sincere advice, and maybe it's not the best of advice. And sometimes we have people who avoid giving any advice at all because they're so worried about what other people might think of them, and they're maybe scared that the person will be offended by them giving advice. But as I've mentioned before in some of the previous sections, we should try as best as possible to be kind when giving advice to others so that it will be easier for them to accept. So we shouldn't be put off by what we think people are going to think about us or even say when we give advice to people, because it is a religious obligation for us. It's a responsibility upon us, because we have to think sometimes we will see things that maybe somebody else hasn't noticed. And subhanAllah, I think to myself sometimes I see certain things and it's just, well, if Allah's put this in my way, then that means it's for me. This is a test for me, and this is part of what it is to be a part of the community, mixing with people. We're not people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't decreed for human beings to live in solitude by themselves. We're supposed to live in the community, and there's a hadith which mentions that the person who lives with the people is better than the person who doesn't. And one of the reasons is that because you have to learn how to deal with different people, and there's much more challenges, and you'll be tested a lot more through the people around you, inshallah. So the responsibility of the Muslim woman is to give advice, sincere advice, to anybody around us who can benefit from it, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for listening. I hope you benefited. Anything that I've said which is correct is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and anything that I have said which is incorrect is from myself, and Allah knows best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.